guys.
Hello again. Shall we start?
Yeah,
Well, I'm so happy that you're all here today. I know it's not always so easy to make time for our meetings, but since you've made it, let's leave the hustle and bustle of our lives outside this room and travel back in time. Now, oh, before I start, Helen, thank you for letting us meet at your house. It was a bit of a short notice.
No problem at all.
Well, I should start by saying that our meeting has a particular significance for me this week. Anna Karenina is probably my favorite of the Russian classics. I'm really glad that we've chosen it. You all seem to have the novel with you. I know it's a little long.
it sure is.
Have you managed to get on with it? At least the first couple of chapters.
The first 5, yes.
8 chapters for me.
All right then. Does anyone have any reflections on the novel? Or should I start with a general introduction to Russian literature?
I think it's a nice book. There's especially one thing that I really liked. Novels that have adultery often have a happy ending.
Yes, that's true. Never thought about it myself, but when you put it like that,
I mean, one forgives the other and they find a way to make it work in the end. That's not what happens in real life. Once it's done, there is no turning back.
I do agree with that. It depicts a real-life situation perfectly well.
I mean, maybe it wasn't death she deserved, but she sure did deserve punishment.
I mean, it sure is one way to look at it. We'll be focusing on that in more detail, especially after we analyze the husband's personality. Some say that falling in love with another man was her only chance for happiness. One thing to keep in mind is that there are always two sides to a story.
That is precisely why I think she should pay for what she has done. Because there are two sides to a story.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to share their reflections on the novel? It doesn't have to be about the ending. Maybe a tiny detail that caught your attention, or perhaps you felt close to the setting.
I like that it was always on stage. One doesn't see the streets, not even once. Little children with their torn clothes sitting on the pavements doing what their parents should be doing instead. Bringing home some food.
I didn't know you were that sensitive.
I'm not. It's just their tiny little faces that lost hope long ago. Looking in your eyes when you pass by, I just don't like the streets at all.
you may like it or not, Jackson, but that's the reality of our time.
You think I don't know that?
Then how can you expect the writer to completely neglect the condition a society is in? Just because you don't know what they're going through doesn't mean they're not worthy of recognition.
Yes, Charles, you're right. I don't know anything about them.
It sounds like you don't.
I agree with Charles on this one. We can't simply cast out parts of life we don't
I'm not
like.
trying to...
Hold on for a moment, though. What do you mean the stage? I don't remember any references to a stage. Maybe I missed it, but I've read the novel
Read it?
twice, so it's highly unlikely.
Of course she read it, but for 2 times.
That book is like a brick. How long is it? 800 pages?
I know it's long, but we voted 3 months ago. You didn't object to it back then, so I thought it was fine for all of you. I would have changed it if I knew it was a problem.
I didn't say that it was a problem. I've seen the film adaptation. It had all the important scenes.
But this is a book club.
Yes, and the film was based on a novel. Trust me, it was quite nice when you got rid of the long, boring descriptions. Russian writers seem to be so fond of them for some reason. I had a nice couple of hours with my wife, and of course with some popcorn too. Please, don't look at me like I'm the only one who watched the film instead of reading your book.
I read the abridged version. One has to read the novel first, for sure. Then I saw the film.
Abridged version? People, we are not in middle school.
I remember reading it in my high school years. Of course, when you're young, you do have time for things like that. But now, I only wish I could.
I think we have some sort of a misunderstanding about the concept of a book club. In any case, I'm sorry, but there's not much we can discuss here today. I haven't seen the film adaptation, and I suppose none of you read the novel in full length.
You did read it.
So why don't we choose another book for our next meeting?
Yes, let's do that.
A shorter one will be more fitting, I suppose. How about a play?
Yes, I like reading plays.
Well, what do you say to Peer Gynt by Henrik Ibsen?
I've never heard of it. It has a strange name.
Well, it's about a man who... Why even bother? As if they care about anything I say. Then we're reading Peer Gynt for next week. Hoping to see you all then. Helen, you have the book, right?
You mean Peer Gynt? Yes, it should be in my
Do
study.
you mind if I take a look at it?
Sure, no problem. I think it's on one of the upper shelves.
Alright, thanks.
Another cup of tea, Charles.
Yes, please. Or you know what? I'll come with you.
Can you believe that she read the whole book? And did you see how she looked at me when I said that I've seen the film adaptation instead? Everyone in their right mind does that.
I thought you liked reading.
It's not that I don't, but we all have real lives. Who has the time to read anyway? That looks old. Let me see. Wow. It even has notes on it. Did you get this from the library?
Me? No, of course not.
Right.
It's my
I
husband.
forgot that your husband was a writer. It's his, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I told him the other day that we would be discussing it for this week's meeting. He was so excited that we left the kitchen in the middle of dinner and came back with a book from his study. He said that I should read the one that he read. He said something about a connection between us. You know how he is when he gets the books.
I do. How is he lately?
Not so well. He's working too much. But on the bright side, I'm sure he'll be getting that promotion he should have gotten long ago.
As usual. Time to shiver while our boss still lies in his warm bed with his wife. Morning, Kurt. How's it going? Yes, keep on checking the game results. Dale, have you finished the presentation I told you about yesterday? Dale? I'm sure the answer is in the economy section you're reading. Who am I to blame them anyway? We all come to this place out of obligation. There must be something we can do. We are sorry to inform you that we are unable to... Of course you are sorry. Well, I am too. I keep trying over and over again for years now. I can't stand not reaching an audience anymore. Every playwright wants to see his plays performed. He wants to see his friends have a body, a voice, to smile and shed tears with the audience. Should I ask Carol? No, I can't do that. Even if it is my only chance, I can't do that. I'll never be that desperate. Huh. Well, it's still early. I'll write for an hour, then start working. Ah, damn it. Now, where was I? More importantly, where was he?
You've been drinking too much again. What is this, the third glass?
No, only the second.
You'll soon start saying that you have a headache.
I do have a headache, but it's not because of the whiskey. I need alcohol. It's the only way to talk to that 25-year-old racer.
The racer?
He doesn't enjoy our conversations when I'm sober.
You mean the one in your play?
Yes. Maybe it's me who doesn't like talking to him when I'm sober. He keeps telling me that I'm too tense and obsessed with rules. I'm not.
I don't like talking to you when you're drunk, but I suppose I don't have a say in this as much as he does. Or the others do.
Please don't yell. The headache.
See, I told you.
It's not alcohol. God.
Fine, sorry.
Can't you just listen to me for a change?
I was just trying to help.
It's because of writing.
I don't understand why you keep writing anyway.
You think I should stop?
Well, it gives you nothing but pain. It's no longer simply pain caused by not getting your works appreciated. It's physical now.
Stop writing. You really don't understand it, do you? Okay, well, let me put it in a way that you will understand. Don't look at me like that. I'm not telling you that you're not smart enough. But you can't deny the fact that we are looking at the world through different filters. The differences in our perception are undeniable. Now, think of the headaches I get from writing like pressing your hand on a comb. No matter how hard you press, the pain is momentary. It's soon to fade out in a few minutes. The pain I get from my unappreciated words is like sticking a needle in your finger. It hurts, but even that goes away once the scar is gone. No matter how many times you do it, it will always heal. The pain I get if I stop writing, on the other hand. Imagine holding a hedgehog.
A hedgehog?
Yes. It doesn't have the words to tell you how scared he is of being held by a creature more than 10 times bigger and more powerful than him. It doesn't want to get hurt by you, but doesn't want to hurt you either. So it takes out its needles, fighting against the one thing that may be his end if he doesn't. I would be dying under the attack of the words if I were to refuse being their translator.
I just want you to be happy.
Do you? I mean, you keep saying that all the time, but...
Of course I mean it. I love you.
Well, I used to see it in your eyes, you know. That it was you and me against everything. Now, all I hear are words without any meaning. Same empty shells, over and over and over again, like a parrot.
Then what do you want me to say?
I'm not happy. I'm not happy for so long.
I know you're not, but this is not fair. I've been on your side for so long, until I just couldn't live with the shadow of disappointment in your eyes.
Since I gave up everything that had meaning to me and become one of those corporate fools. They think life is worth living only if you have an office to go to wearing a tie. In this world, run by consumption, no one values creation, let alone creating something themselves. They mock the people who do it. They call them dreamers without knowing it's a compliment.
You are a dreamer, and I loved you because you are one.
What would they all be doing all day long if a man hasn't dreamt of putting life into a magic box?
It would be a lot easier
What would you be doing then? Seeing plays? God forbid no.
I love seeing plays.
What if a man hasn't felt bad for his wife who was spending hours doing laundry?
Just trying to find a way for us.
Would he come up with a washing machine then? No. Everything starts with a dream. Every dreamer is the victim of his time. It does them no good in the grave how much we value their works now. Don't tell me you want me to be happy. It's your happiness that's important to you, not mine at all.
I don't know what to say.
Well, then don't say anything. You will scare off my muse. The last thing I want in the world is to have her thinking that I don't appreciate her help.
Your muse? Her?
You didn't think it was a he, did you?
Her.
It's water. It's always water.
Of course.
Water that takes the lives of men to give it to others. Give them life so that they enter the scene, suffer, and exit. Faces so interconnected that one does not even notice the transition from one to the other. Like tiny little drops of water that has no meaning as individuals but are magic as a whole.
Don't worry, dear. I won't do anything to scare off your muse. If you're done with your monologues, I'll take a shower. I have a terrible headache. Maybe your muse can take care of that too. You are right after all, I suppose. Writing does give people headaches, especially if you're the one who has to listen to them.
Helen exits. Good thing I'm not as selfish as him. Would things be easier, though, if I was? I don't know. She only is trying to help. It's not her fault that he doesn't appreciate it. As for him, well, no one can understand them better than I do. They are just too different, almost on two opposite edges. But they weren't always like this. If only I could come up with something that will make her understand, make her remember. Something that can reunite them. Then they can have their fairy tale ending. But what?
Here is my award-winning writer. What was the one you wrote for that organization helping the war victims? Oh, there you go. The greatest tragedy is indifference, right?
Yes, thank you, sir.
If only the others were looking up to you. Then we would be the best advertising agency in the country.
It's not that impossible. Just hire struggling writers instead of advertising graduates.
What's that?
I was just saying thank you, sir.
Working on something new?
Yes, sir.
Well, I have some good news for you about the promotion.
Sir, can I tell you something before you go on?
We'll have a lot of time to discuss what you have to say to me. Now, as I was saying, the managers finally agreed that it wasn't fair to be holding you in the same position with the new graduates. From now on, you're the team manager.
The team manager?
Yes. All the writers will be consulting you when they have a question, and you will be reporting to James first thing on Mondays.
Mr. Hastings.
As you can guess, there will be a substantial increase in your salary. That house you always wanted to get, you can get it in no time now. Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Mr. Hastings.
Yes?
I'm grateful, I really am. I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that you are pleased with my work. But I must turn down your offer.
Turn it down? Are you telling me that you don't want the promotion? And why is that?
I was planning to give my resignation by the end of the week, but I might as well do it now.
Your resignation? Is this some kind of a joke?
No, sir, it certainly isn't.
Did you get a better offer from somewhere else? Tell me how much, we'll give more. I have no intention of losing my best writer.
There is no offer.
After all these years you'd worked here, after all we'd done for you, you looked me in the eye and lied to my face. So be it. No one is irreplaceable. I wish you all the luck with your career, Mr. Evans. Nicole, walk with me. This new generation, they think they know everything. Go talk to him, David. Tell him he's really good. That'll make him work with a bit of enthusiasm.
Yes.
I'll tell you what it does. It makes them think what they do is worth the money they get. When I was young...
There is no offer. Why would I lie to him if there was? Well, he can think whatever he wants. It matters little to me now. I will be free soon. After all they have done for me, how can I ever repay them for sucking all the joy I used to get from life?
That is brilliant news. We shall be neighbors in no time.
I suppose we will. But there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, more like a favor to ask. As great as this promotion is, I know that he will be even in a worse shape than he is now.
And why is that?
You know, with the extra workload.
Well, yes, but if he wants to make more money, he has to work more.
I wish it was that simple. When he first started working in advertising, he always thought that it was a temporary thing. He would keep writing, and one day he would be discovered and would quit his job immediately. That day never came. Every day when he came back from work, I saw it in his eyes that he was more desperate. This promotion, it's the concrete proof of him being just another employee in an advertising firm. I know how tough that is for him.
Don't feel bad about it. It's not your fault that he's a dreamer. And besides, what can I do about this?
There's one thing that may make him keep his job and be happy about it. If only one of his
Helen?
plays could be staged.
No, please don't put me into this position. You know I have no say in Carol's play selections.
Please, Jackson, I wouldn't ask if I wasn't desperate. You know how much I love him, but I don't think I can keep living like this anymore. Let me say my marriage instead of being a participant in our divorce.
You and your words. You're not that different from him as you think you are. You both can make a person throw himself off a bridge, only using your words. I will talk to her, but don't get your hopes high. She's very likely to say no.
She won't, if you find the right time to ask. And that's something you are quite successful at.
Can't argue with that. But what if she says yes? How on earth are you planning to convince your stubborn husband that this is not your doing? They hate each other. Noah would never believe that Carol is willing to stage one of his plays.
I'll tell him that the theater has decided to go in a new direction. They will stage plays from writers who were never heard of before. There's no better advertisement than that.
You've got it all figured out, haven't you? All right. For the sake of our friendship, I will talk to her. Now, stop feeling bad about your husband's promotion, and please tell me that you have ideas about how to decorate your new apartment. I think I still have the scrapbook I made earlier when we were decorating ours.
Jackson?
I would normally suggest going with country style.
Jackson!
What?
Good thing Alice called today. I'm not feeling so well.
Sorry to hear that. Hope it's not something serious.
No, it's just a headache.
Maybe you should take a nap. I'll tell the others and we'll get going soon.
Yes, I should do that. Thank you so much for agreeing to talk to Carol.
No problem.
See you soon, Jackson.
Take care.
Why do you keep doing this? You know you're not helping her.
I know. I just want to see her happy, like she used to be when we were in school. At least she'll smile for the day.
You really can be the most selfish person I've ever known. You know it's always me who has to comfort her when your promises turn out to be nothing more than lies.
I know. I'm sorry. I will talk to her tomorrow.
I know you're trying to help, but you only help her in thinking that the illusion she chooses to live in is real. No point in discussing this. What's done is done.
I told you that I will talk to her. Can you relax a little?
I'm sorry. It's just that I've been through this so many times.
Charles, Peter, we should get going. I'll call you tomorrow to tell you what happened, all right?
All right, talk to you later.
Honey, I'm home.
Hello, I'm in the kitchen. How was your day?
As usual. Not much different from yesterday.
Is something wrong? You don't sound so good.
I wonder how you find the enthusiasm to ask that question every day. You know the answer you'll get, and you're not going to like it.
I think living with you has made me an optimist too. I can't help but think that one day you'll learn to appreciate the things you have.
That, my dear, is not being optimistic. That's being a dreamer. I can't imagine that I'll come home one day saying that I had an amazing day writing advertisements.
Have you finished the new one yet?
Not yet. I just can't concentrate.
You know what? That's the thing that still stays as a mystery to me, even after all these years of marriage.
That I haven't finished yet or that I can't concentrate?
Neither. You know what I mean? How come you don't enjoy doing something you're so successful at?
I know you don't understand it.
You're the most brilliant person in that firm and so close to that promotion.
Yes, the promotion. You know, I sometimes think that I don't know how to be happy. I feel like if I put everything into words, then they'll no longer be my thoughts. The burden will be theirs, the pain, the suffering. I can be nothing more than a spectator and smile at their joys.
I know that feeling.
You know what? I often feel like quitting.
You mean your job?
No, writing. Every single time, though, after realizing that there's no good in quitting writing, I end up quitting my job instead.
I know it's not easy for you, but don't you even think of doing that. How do you think we can move to that amazing apartment in town we're dying to have if you were to quit?
Yes, we are dying to move there.
I know you're not as motivated as I am, but you will like that place.
What if we were to wait a bit longer, or that dream of ours, hypothetically speaking?
How much time are we talking about? Of course, hypothetically speaking.
10 years?
10 years?
At most.
Why on earth would we have to wait 10 years to move?
Why, to save money?
We've been saving money for years now. You will be getting that promotion soon, I'm sure of it. You know, I hear things.
That may be a bit tricky if I quit.
And it's not like writing is a full-time job. Why don't you just keep your job and write on your spare time?
You know exactly why I can't. You're making me say it so that when you hear the words out loud, you'll get even more upset. Then, you will start throwing your words at me, thinking that it's at all possible to hurt me with them. Well, I will give you the chance, darling, though you're doomed to fail. I want to focus on writing, rather than spending the whole day doing what other people expect me to do. I'm sick of coming home in the evening too tired to let alone write, do anything but have dinner, argue with you, and stare at the television with a blank expression on my face and go to bed. And for what? To have the same routine all over again the next day.
So easy for you to put all the blame on me for everything you didn't have the courage to do. Was I the one who told you to start working in advertising?
No, but it was what I had to do if I wanted to be with you.
No, it wasn't. Come here. Look, I loved you, and I still do, but I don't deserve hearing your regrets every single day, always better polished, that I hurt my ears.
I wanted you to have everything that would keep that beautiful smile on your lips. I didn't want you to worry about money. We had been going out for 3 years. I knew how expensive your tastes were.
I don't care about money.
Please. Even now we're talking about the apartment that you want to.
Yes, but...
I could have never made you happy if I were to become a writer. You would have always resented me for the life I wouldn't be able to offer you. Well, I refuse to see that look in your eyes.
Instead, you left me to cope with the same look in your eyes. I'm the mercenary here, aren't I?
I didn't say that. I would never say that. I loved you. I loved you more than anything in this wicked world. It wasn't a burden for me to provide for you. I would have kept doing it. If only I could find peace at home. If only I could see the woman I married. You don't see that you've changed, do you? First time I saw you, you were in college. How old were you then? 19? I can see you sitting on the grass with your friends. You have your envelope skirt, the one you found a few days ago and threw out saying it's hideous. Your hair reminded me of Medusa. It was inviting me to come closer to you, only to be killed by your gaze. I caught the smoke of your cigarette. Holding on to that, I started walking towards you. You were reading, as you would keep doing for years. I thought you were one hell of a girl, nothing like the others. I could see it in your eyes that it was more than the pimpled skinny boy you were seeing when you looked at me. What happened to that girl?
She kept reading, as you said, for years. By reading, she found love, anger, happiness, betrayal, life, death, anything and everything about the world. She knew she was the most blessed person in the world for having experienced things that could not be squeezed into a lifetime.
Yes, we all fell for that.
I know what happened to her. She woke up one day and looked at her reflection in the mirror. She wasn't 19 anymore. She used to be in love with the words. Mighty creators of new worlds. The irresistible call of the sirens took hold of her.
Can it be her?
They told her that it was time to choose the world over the words. Without giving her a chance to object, they imprisoned her. Word. World. 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 It still amazes me how much a single letter can change. L. Love. Of. We. The things we owe to love.
My Helen? Is she back?
They told her that they were getting sick of creating new worlds, that she should settle with the one that she was a part of. I cried for days. It hurt so much to see the world as it was. I didn't know it was such a horrible place. It was even worse than a tragedy. Everyone was lying. They were all covered by their egos. They were so selfish. I had no one to talk to, only you. But you weren't helping me at all.
No, I was there.
You were trying to stop the change in me. How did you think that you could stop it when I couldn't? I needed your help, but you never helped me. So I ended up being a stranger to myself and to you as well. I lost everything. Respect of the 19-year-old girl and the love of my life. All for a stupid voice that told me to be normal. You don't see that I have your dagger pointed at me, knowing that it's not only my life, but also yours I've messed up.
I don't know what to say. I wanted to help you. I knew we were a whole, divided into two and thrown out into the world, only to find each other. I knew the only person I could be happy with was you. I never meant to hurt you. I just didn't want you to change.
What are you talking about? I haven't changed. This is who I am.
But you...
And I don't believe that you don't want to hurt me. Why would you think of quitting your job when you know that I want that apartment more than anything else?
But you were saying that the voice...
What voice? Honey, are you okay? Look, let's discuss this later. You must be really tired.
Yes, maybe.
And why don't you go change before dinner? You always look so uncomfortable in that suit.
Am I making it up? She was talking about how she has changed. The voice. You heard her too, right? Well, maybe I really am too tired.
serious about quitting, are you?
I am.
Wait till you hear this then. It may make you reconsider your decision.
What could that be?
You know we have the book club meetings on Mondays.
Is it Monday today?
Yes, it is. Anyway, a friend of mine from the club, you know Jackson, the one married to that director, Carol Jones. She just got an award for her last production. What was the name of the play?
Massacre of Playgoers.
Very funny. No, it was... Oh, it's not that important anyway. Jackson told me that Carol was in search of a new play. The owner of the theater, he says, has decided to go in a new direction.
How so?
They will stage plays from writers who are never heard of before. They reject the plays that have already been staged, even only for once.
That is a brilliant idea.
Exactly.
I don't think there are any plays left for them to destroy.
Oh, of course.
No, I mean it. They should leave the dead alone. I'm sure they're turning in their grave. Now they will give the opportunity to amateur playwrights who are still alive. You're not a true playwright until you turn in your bed over and over again for days, for endless nights. Now it's their turn. Amateurs will never become professionals.
That director whom you're defaming for no particular reason, she is willing to stage one of your plays. What do you say to that now?
Over my dead body!
What? You've been writing plays for years and years.
How did this happen?
Not even one of them has been staged.
Did you ask Jackson to talk to her?
No, it was he who wrote it up. Listen to me, this may be your one and only shot. How come you say no to an opportunity like this?
We've seen their productions together. You've endured the same torture as much as I did for 2.5 endless hours.
Wasn't that bad?
The man on the stage, for unlike many others I'm not brave enough to call him an actor, was spitting out the words that were refusing to come out. I could see the bloodstains on the brochure I was holding. The playwright had tears on his portrait. It's one of my favorite pictures of the modest master of words, and I'm sure it didn't have tears prior to that performance. It was nothing but torture.
Are you done?
Yes.
Even so, this may be your only shot.
I would rather die than having my plays directed by that woman or performed by any of those actors.
You don't get to be picky about this. It's not like we have a queue of directors waiting at our door arguing over who will get your play.
Darling, do you remember your tonsillectomy?
Of course I do. What does that have to do with your play? You keep talking about your characters and dreams and everything on and on and on. But when I tell you that you have a real shot to do something about it for once, you talk about my tonsils. I can't help but think that you don't want them to be staged at all.
Yes, dear, I talk about your tonsils and for good reason. Now, do you also remember the intern who was to scrub in with your doctor?
How can I not remember him?
He was to be in your surgery, one of the most commonly practiced operations in the world. He would be only there to observe and maybe to do the stitches in the end, so he wouldn't be able to do any harm even if he wanted to.
It's easy for you to call it an easy surgery when it's not you lying unconscious.
I suppose,
A
but...
boy who's 5 years younger than me cutting me open? What a nerve that doctor had. Did he simply expect me to hand over my life to a schoolboy?
He didn't have more nerves than you do when you tell me to hand over my play to a woman who knows nothing about theater and actors who have no further acting experience than school plays.
How can he even compare the two? It was my life at stake.
And it's my life. No, it's more than my life at stake here.
And how is that?
It's also the lives of the... How can I tell them that I will trap their souls into automatons only to move mechanically and speak like pre-recorded messages in an answering machine? Their expressions fixed by makeup to hide the incapability of their bodies in conveying any kind of emotion through gesture. Them, who are my friends, my family, my soul. How can I punish them so violently? Them, who did nothing but support me, even when my closest ones were staring at me with contempt when I talked about my passions. To be acknowledged by a couple of men who repeat the same praises over and over again for plays they haven't the slightest understanding of. No, merci.
You exaggerate as you always do.
Do you not see that I blossom when I write? My cheeks grow rosebuds, chasing away the weeds of snow.
I always thought you had red cheeks.
golden rays of light flow out from my pupils, like the lighthouse in the night.
Yes, even now I can see how much brighter the room is.
My lips, that generally rest to leave the speaking to my mind, start moving with passion, throwing out the world so that they can be free. Suddenly realizing the terrible mistake they have made, they try to hold on to their precious children, afraid of losing them forever.
Talk more about passion.
It's as if I'm a new man. My hair is darker now, for it's more than her innocence that the 6-year-old girl lends me. I no longer have blue eyes. They are brown now, for I share them with the prisoner who looks through the bars of his cell. I am a new man. Better or worse, better and worse. It's as if I'm beautiful,
Of course you are.
as the words.
I wouldn't have married you otherwise. Yes, go to your real love. No matter how much I try to reach you, I'm so tired. He used to at least pretend that he still loved me. It doesn't even bother now. The man who used to praise even my horrible omelets. He doesn't even take a bite from his dinner. Who cares? I spent hours cooking his favorite meal. I'm so tired of arguing all day long. If someone was to watch one day of our life, he'd think the play written by someone with too much to say and no time to say it.
That makes the two of us, sweetheart. So can we stop it, please?
I want to. I really do. But it hurts that they're the only things you care about.
That's not true. I care about you too.
I mean, they're not even real. Look, I'm not saying that it's not what writers do, creating as you call it, but you can't do that all the time. You're detached from reality. Tell me the last time we went out for dinner, just the two of us.
2 days ago. Don't you remember? We went to that French restaurant that your sister said we must go to. I mean, who wants to miss tiny portions of sauced meat for a month's salary?
Yes, we did go out for dinner, but we sure weren't alone. I could see it in your eyes that you were arguing with that 50-year-old man whom you always talk so highly of. Even when you looked at me and said that I looked pretty, I knew it was another version of me, one that only lives in your memory. I don't remember the last time you looked at me and saw me for the person who I really am. But when you're married to a madman, that obviously is out of the question. Who am I when it gets to competing with your genius? If only things could have been simpler, you know. If only I could have a husband who flirts with beautiful women instead of the millions of sparks flowing through the curves of his mind.
Sparks of the mind. Why haven't I thought of that? All right. There's no way I can win, is there? I cancel all my appointments to take you out to dinner to see a little bit of a glimpse on your face, glimpse of smile on your face, like the ones you used to have. Instead, you keep complaining.
All I want is a normal life. One that is shared by two people who love and value each other. One that we have our separate lives during the day, but the moment we set our foot into our home, there's nothing more important than each other. You say that I've changed. It is you who has changed. I want only you, not your numerous children whom I constantly have to compete with.
Only an empty person can be won. I knew this when I read Sidney's sonnet to his love. I am not I, pity the tale of me. I know telling you this will make you angrier than you already are, but believe me when I say that we are not one. This thing we call a human being is nothing more than a different number of selves whom differ drastically but can't survive without each other. It's the tale that matters, that is worth remembering.
You're right, dear. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. We can never be one. Can't take this anymore. Up until now, I always thought that he is who he is, for everyone has a little madness in them, but what he just confessed is nothing more than a poetic version of his lunacy. Where did I put this number? It should be somewhere in here. Maybe I can call her tomorrow. No, I must do it now. I don't think I can get any sleep if I don't talk to someone about this. Well, at least Alice understands what I'm going through.
Do you really think that I am the one who must be mad? And why? Because I talk to people who are not made of flesh and bone? Look around. See the world for a change. See what everyone is doing, sitting in front of their computers. They talk to machines. They seek their help. What is a computer but a brilliantly designed piece of junk? Show me where the flesh is. Show me its bones. Show me its heart. Tell me something that would make a computer blush, or something that can make it cry. Yet, some choose to spend all their lives in front of them. Something so ungrateful that it wouldn't even care if you lived or died. Don't come and tell me that I am mad, because my closest friends are people you don't see. They are more real than anything you consider real in this world. How can you say that something does not exist when it keeps talking to you? When its words push down the tears waiting in your eye? Whose anger comes and goes so fast that you can't do anything but shiver from its wind. When they die, it's as if one of your organs has stopped working. When they have children, you're a tree that grew a new branch. When someone questions their existence, you are a knight, all armed up and ready to do anything that would provide their safety. When you die, they are so devoted to you that they die with you, after screaming out all they have to say. When they are done, they are faithful and brave enough to come with you to the grave, until someone picks them up again, knowing that they will never be able to make the same noise in the hands of another man, willing to let him try, even if it is so. Don't believe her and think that I am mad. You are mad for turning your back on them. For what is madness but a mighty tool which helps a prince in getting his revenge from his uncle who betrayed him? I will keep on fooling the world. I will keep them away from my version of the reality. They don't deserve to know it. When I'm gone, they'll no longer think of me. I shall be happy out there, since all that matters is within me. Now I understand why the fox has said that its body was too heavy to take with him. I shall leave it right here. It's been with me through the good and the bad, but I always felt like it was a prison that one day I shall find the key of. No matter what's happened between us recently, she still is the love of my life. She does deserve one last try. I shall make her happy.
I was just going to call Alice to ask her to come over for coffee. You know, it's always the two of us at home. I thought we could use some company.
Why are you looking at me as if I'm going to hurt you?
Me? No, I'm not. It's
Don't
just...
even try to lie to me. You can never fool me. Look, I did some thinking and you're right. There's no good in living this miserable life anymore. It's not fair to you just as much as it's not fair to me. I will try to change. I know you don't believe me right now, but I promise you I will.
I do want to believe you, but this is not like changing your clothes or your house. This is who you are.
I know it's not going to be easy, but I am willing to take the challenge. There's one more thing I want to tell you. Maybe after hearing that, you will understand how serious I am.
What is that?
What do you say to a little addition to the family?
Wait, are you serious? I thought you didn't want kids. Well, you always say that you can never cheat on your characters.
I know what I said in the past.
Taking care of a baby will be a full-time job.
As I said, I want to change. I always liked kids. It will be fun to have a little guy running around in the house.
Or a girl.
Or a girl.
You just made me the happiest person in the world. I shall be giving birth to 2 people when the time comes. To our baby and to my husband, for he will be a new man.
Yes, my love. And we will finally have our fairy tale ending in our new apartment with our boy. Or girl. Much as I like to talk about this more, I should get some sleep. I have an early meeting tomorrow.
Okay, you do that. We have the rest of our lives to discuss. And Noah,
Yes?
I'm sorry I called you mad. I don't really think you are. I just got caught up in the moment.
I know, darling.
I love you.
I love you too. You lie, my love. So do I. For a brief moment I thought I could. But I can't. I can't live without them. Massacre of the Self. Written by... Who cares who wrote it? He walks towards his bedroom. He takes out his clothes. He puts on his shirt. And trousers. Oh, and his tie. He fixes his hair. gets back into bed. Takes a notebook from his nightstand. It's filled with papers. There's also papers lying around on the floor. He starts taking notes. When he's done, he puts the notebook back on the nightstand. He looks around for the last time. His final words are, "A journey from the moon to the stars. The end." A journey from the moon to the stars.
Honey, I know it's too early to talk about it, well, considering that we haven't even started trying to have a baby, but I have been thinking about baby names. Well, to be honest, since I'm 16. I thought we could call her Zoe. It means life. If it's a boy, I don't know what to call him then. And not that I don't want a boy, I just haven't thought of any names for him yet. Do you have any suggestions? Oh, I forgot that he went to bed. He deserves some peace after all. If only I could stop smiling. No, I can't. But what if he was just trying to distract me so that I don't call Alice and tell her what happened? He sounded genuine when he said he wanted to change, but there's only one way to be absolutely sure about it. Honey, I know you're tired, but what do you say to a little practice? Come on, you can't be that tired. Noah, honey, are you sleeping? Noah? Answer me, this is not funny. Why isn't your chest moving? Answer me, damn it, why aren't you breathing? What did you do? Did you leave me? I'm sorry for everything, for being so selfish during all the times you needed me. I put the entire burden on you. I know it wasn't fair, but you're strong. You know how to cope with people. I don't. You can... I'm sorry. I care about what they say. You don't. That's why I love you so much. I haven't changed. How come you don't see it? It's all a disguise. I'm still the girl you fell in love with. I looked up everything I valued. I gave them all to you. I knew you would keep them safe. I couldn't stand it when they talked about us. They said that I was a dreamer and I could never be happy if I don't see the life as it was. They said that you write plays no one would ever pay to see. They're idiots. They don't know anything about reality, about beauty or love. Open your eyes, my love. I haven't changed. Wait, I'll prove it to you that I haven't changed. That skirt you thought I threw away, I didn't. I'll prove it to you, and then you will open your eyes and you will kiss me and we will live on that moment forever, okay? Just wait for a moment. worried, but so did you. Open your eyes, my love. We're the last people on earth who need kids. We have so many of them already. You say that our boy has gave you his hair. No, it is you who gave him your hair. Our girl has your eyes. They're ours. So when you leave, you take our kids with you. And you take me with you. As the folks once said, you become responsible forever for what you have tamed. The massacre of the self. Yes, it is a massacre indeed.
Sweetie. Sorry that I showed up so late.
Did I call you?
No, you didn't. Remember we talked after the meeting? And I said I'd drop by? Were you sleeping? You seem awfully tired.
No, I'm not tired. I'm empty.
Empty? Helen, is something wrong? Would you like to sit and talk? I'll make you a cup of tea.
Who's Helen?
You, of course. Don't be silly now. Are you trying to scare me?
Why would I want to scare you? I just wanted to know who Helen is. Is she a nice person? I would like to meet her if she is. No, I don't have many friends.
I'll tell you all about Helen. She's an amazing person. A little messed up at the moment, but you will like her. You may even be great friends in no time. But before we talk about Helen, can I ask you something?
Sure you can.
I was talking to Jackson today, and he told me a rather interesting thing. I'm almost sure he made it up just to have something to talk about.
What did he say?
Well, he said that Carol was talking to Mr. Hastings, and he was under the impression that you've quit your job today.
Oh.
After getting a promotion. So, did you?
How can you end something you never had in the first place?
Helen, oh, sorry for calling you Helen. It's just that you two have so much in common. I often get confused. Sweetie, we've talked about this. How many times have I told you that you're a smart, successful lady who deserves working in an advertising firm?
It was taking too much of my time. I needed time for more important things.
You could keep writing after work. At least tell me that you've thought about the future. How are you planning to earn money?
Can we talk about this later? It's disrespectful to the dead.
What do you mean, the dead?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I'm a widow now.
A widow?
Yes, because my husband is dead.
What do you mean, your husband?
Noah, of course.
Honey, he left you.
No, I was talking to him tonight.
He left you 10 years ago.
He said that his life was a big failure and it was all my fault. Then he forgave me. He said that we could start all over again. But the burden was too much. I tried to reach him, but he was locked out. Then he closed his eyes.
It's not your fault. It never was your fault. You did your best to cope with this world. You failed. So what? The game is not designed for everyone to be winners. phone call, darling. Coming back in a minute, okay? All right. We'll be there in 15. I just remembered that I forgot to call my sister. I was supposed to go to her place for her son's birthday. I'm sure he's asleep now, but we can still go. She'll like a chat after a long day. If nothing else, it'll help you stop thinking about your husband, even for a short while.
I don't really feel like going out. I'll just take some Valium and go to bed.
Please come with me, just for an hour.
Okay, but only for an hour.
All right. Hello, gorgeous. How are you today? I brought you flowers. See? Daisies, your favorite. It took me all day to find these. Of course, my friend can't be satisfied with sunny daffodils or moonlight orchids. She needs wildflowers. Do you want me to put them in a vase?
We're not allowed to have vases in the cells.
Right.
Give them to me!
Wait,
They're
Helen,
all I need.
Wait!
She's trying to make herself bleed.
To use the playwright.
She was trying to make herself bleed.
I didn't know.
It's all right. We usually don't give her ink or paper. You never know what she may do to herself. All she wants to do is to write.
I didn't know. I definitely won't bring her flowers on my next visit. Is there anything I can do to calm her down?
Read this to her. When we read to her, she looks like an innocent child listening to a lullaby. Only this book has the chime, though. She says it's written by her husband.
Her husband, yeah, he is. I mean, he was a writer.
Oh, I was wondering why he wasn't coming on visiting hours. She could get better a lot more quickly if he was alive. Do you mind if I ask how he died?
He was defeated.
In the war, you mean?
Yeah, you could say that.
God bless his soul. Did you know him well? I read his works at least 3 times a week. I feel like a scholar specialized in his works. She forces me to read to her. Well, to be honest, I'm more than happy to do it. It really is a shame that he died.
I knew him. I knew him better than I knew myself. I met him when I was only a kid. He had something so extraordinary. You could easily spot him, even in a large group. He used to shine. He was such a joy.
Can I tell you something? I suppose you would think that I'm mad too.
Does it really matter what I think?
I keep having this feeling. Whenever I read to her, she looks with such love that cannot be given to something that is not hers. I wasn't going to say this, but the way you describe her husband, the writer of this book, I just need to tell someone. I feel like it was her. It was her all along. And her husband, you, me, we were nothing more than pawns in her game. Not worth as individuals as the king is, but essential for the whole nonetheless.
It is a crazy idea indeed.
I'm sorry. Here I keep talking and you probably have enough on your mind already. But, before I go, normally we are not allowed to do this, but I think you ought to see it. It's a footage from the security camera in her room. There's a player over there. You can watch it if you want.
Wait, what is she doing? Why are you giving me this?
Just talking, don't worry. I need to check on other patients now. Let me know if you need anything.
He's gone, isn't he? You think it's my fault. Nothing more than the pretty little shallow wife whose ignorance has signed her husband's death sentence. It's fun to watch, isn't it? Even when it's a tragedy. I mean, no matter how terrible you feel for what happens in front of you, you always get to go home to your families. Forget what you witnessed an hour ago. You know you're not to blame. But you know what? You're wrong. You are to blame. You killed my husband. You killed him every day, over and over again, until he didn't have the courage to come back anymore. I suppose I helped you in your way. I used to be one of you, you know. It's been a long time since I haven't been a part of a group. Even a small one like yours. You all seem so happy all the time. I thought I could be happy too. If I acted like you. How hard could that be? I was silly enough to think that only joys could be pregnant with smiles. I thought I could. I just want you to know. I just want you to know. We're murderers. We're murderers!
You're murderers? He looked into her eyes. She didn't blink, not even once. Was it always like that? He couldn't remember. It was so easy to look at them. He could live in that moment for days or months. He knew that they never had mighty praises written for them. No one had yet called them little drops of emeralds, nor were they compared to two short scenes cropped from the wild sea. They were modest, humble even, never wanted praises, only sought soft caresses. They were more than enough to make her smile, make her eyes shine like nothing he has yet seen in his life. But it wasn't so that day. It was as if someone else was looking through those tiny windows. Or worse, no one was there. She was gone.